Hello everyone, and welcome back to 2D+1's Becoming a Game Artist. This is the fourth video, I believe, and it's the third part of our next-gen door series. So in this series so far, we created a high poly and a low poly version of the door, and then we baked the normal map onto the low poly. So right now we just have this square with a normal map applied to it. You'll see that my poly count is still 425, but that's because I have my high poly door hidden in case I need to use it later, which at this point I don't think I will. So what I'm actually going to do is going to delete that. So I'm going to unhide my high poly door and delete. Alright, so you'll see that we only have 8 polygons, and that is including the reference art, which is a polygon. So 8 polygons, and it looks like this. So that's not bad at all. It looks like a lot more than 8 polygons. Alright, so the next step is we're going to be making this frame, these hinges, and this doorknob, and then we're going to map those out and then layer the normal map for the door and the rest of the pieces, so it becomes all one piece using all one set of map coordinates. So let's make this frame. This will be pretty easy to do. All I'm going to do is take my door and I'm going to scale it on this flat line down here that'll scale on the X and Y axis. I'm going to hold down Shift and scale it. Make sure you hold down Shift to create a new one. Okay, and I'm going to move it up, and then I'm going to click M and apply a default material to it. And we're going to now hide our door. Okay. Now we're let's see here. Now we need to make this a frame. So actually, I need to see my door still. So let's unhide the door, and and what I'm going to do is move this down a little bit so I can see the door more prominently. And then I'm going to click Edges and Ring. And right now I'm just basically making edges surround the door model so I can then delete those polygons there so it's more of a frame. So we'll put those right there. And we will ring up here. Now if I wasn't planning on having this door open at all, I wouldn't even need to block this out. I could just basically leave it the way it is now because it won't be opening, so no one needs to see that this isn't an actual frame. But I think I want to set this one up so it can open and be a little bit more fun. So I'm going to take this top part and move it down a little bit. I think it's a little bit too much. Okay, so now we have all of our edges. That's not probably where I want it. Alright, so now I'm going to hide my door. And then what I'll do is I have an extra edge loop right here, so I'm going to click here, loop, and go to remove. Alright, then I'm going to select these polygons. And now we're going to learn a new tool called target weld. This is really important. I use this all the time while I'm doing polygonal modeling, which we're going to be learning soon. So I'm going to click these 3 edges, hold down Shift and drag them down. Now I could just drag them and cover it up, right? But it's a really sloppy way of modeling when we have big gaps like that, and it really won't look good. So instead what I'm going to do is target weld them together. So we learned the weld tool early on, but this time I'm going to click target weld. Click that, and then just click the edges that I want to weld. So I'm going to click here to there, and I'll do the same thing over here. And this one is in the middle, so it automatically happens. Alright, so that there is our frame. Now, if you look to the corner of this frame, there's kind of a line going through here, and you'll see there's an indent right there. So let's try and make that happen. So first I'm going to do this indent right there. So what I'm going to do is click right here, ring, and ring. That should work fine. This is the high poly, so it doesn't really matter if I have extra polygons. And I need to do the same thing up here. Alright, and all I'm going to do is just, actually, instead of selecting those and extruding them down, I would create a few problems. Instead, what I'm just going to do is select every other part of the door and extrude it out. And you know what, I'll click bevel instead because like I said in the first video of chapter 2, we need to be beveling out our pieces so they show up better in the normal map. Alright, and then I'm going to chamfer down here a little bit. Add a kind of cool effect. Alright, that's looking good. So let's take off edge faces and just see. And it's a little bit too thick, so what I'm actually going to do is chamfer again right along here. Now I have some edges that are kind of all over the place here, but like I said before, this is the high poly, so I really don't care. We won't be unwrapping this or anything, we'll just be using it to bake the normals. Alright, and that's looking good. Okay, now we need to get this line that's up here. So let's figure that out really quick. Now I'm going to use the create tool. So I'm on edge right now. I'm going to go up and click create and then click the vertexes that I want to create a line in between, which is going to be these. Alright, there they are. And now I'm going to select right here, down there, and right there. And I'm just going to click chamfer, creating two of them. And then I will extrude these down a bit. And now we're going to edit this. Well, yeah, there's some editing that needs to be done. So I'm going to do some more target welding, but this time with vertexes. Make this look a little bit nicer. Click this vertex down here and weld it up to there. And the same. Alright, so that's looking pretty good. But you'll see I only applied it to one side of my door. This side I would have to redo all that stuff too. So instead I'm going to use the symmetry tool. So I'm just going to click right here and ring connect. And I'm only going to do one and make sure that pinch is 0 and slide is 0. So it's right in the middle. And then I'm going to go to vertex, delete. So now those are gone. And what I'm going to do is click my modify list, go all the way down to symmetry. And we're going to need to flip it. And we may need to adjust the symmetry a little bit. Well, we got to make sure our door still fits though. So, alright, so I can move this over a tad. That should be good. Alright, I'm going to hide my door again. Alright, and you'll see that when I have symmetry applied, whatever I do to one side, it applies to the other. So there is our high poly door frame. Now let's make a low poly of this really fast. I'm actually going to collapse the symmetry. Not yet. Let's hold down shift. Well, make sure you, in create geometry, hold down shift and drag this out. See, if I were to do this while I was in the create panel, to maybe select element and drag it out, I would create another shape in this piece. I want it to be a totally different piece. And so now we got to make this thing low poly, and I think I'm pretty much going to do the same thing I did for my door. So let's delete all the vertexes inside and then just use the naked outside. Okay, and now just like before, go to edge, hidden line. I'm going to get rid of a few of these too. I'm just going to click that, click control remove, and ring is not selected. Ooh, that is a problem. Oh no, it's not. Okay, never mind. And I'll just control remove. Alright, looking good, and now we're going to cap just like before. Oh, but first we need to make sure turn our symmetry on, and then I'm just gonna right click, collapse to, just like we do with our UVW maps. Alright, and in the next video we'll finish this, we'll create a normal map, and we'll start layering our normals, so see you then.